here I am, an American. What's up with that? And I love this country. Gonna make it great again. Call to order Public Works meeting for Tuesday, March 1st. Can we get a roll call and for determination of a quorum, please?
Doyle. Estes. Roberts. Wythenbeck.
Here.
Wright. We have a quorum.
Thank you, and we'll look for an adoption of the agenda, and we'll first go to Mr. Estes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move to add agenda item 28 at the end of the meeting for an emergency concrete, a walk-on emergency concrete repairs due to the water main break at Haynes Avenue, Disc Drive, in the amount of $40,107.62.
Second.
Perfect. Well, all in favor?
Aye.
So moved. We added item number 28. So now we'll vote on any items that need to be removed from the consent. Mr. Roberts.
Item 16, please.
Item number 16. Okay, any other items? Mr. Estes.
Motion to approve. Motion to approve all items other than item 16.
We have a motion to approve all but item number 16. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Move on to item number 16, which is amendment number 2 to the agreement between the City of Rapid City and HDR Inc. for Southside Drive Sanitary Sewer Extension, Project 142095, in the amount of $29,670. And we'll go to Mr. Roberts.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. May I ask one or two questions to Mr. Dale Tech?
Yes, sir, Mr. Deltec. We're going to have a question for you.
Thank you, and good afternoon, Dale. My question on this is, this project, I believe, is 3 years behind, something like that, roughly. Do you have an idea of when this project is actually going to get a shovel in the ground? When are we going to start working on this project?
This project will be a multi-phase project. We will be bidding the first phase of the project either this summer or early fall. So it'll get underway in 2016 by mid-fall.
And then do you have any idea, if we do start it by mid-fall, when the entire project will be done?
With the right-of-way acquisition that is required on projects of this magnitude, it would be very difficult for me to give you a date certain when this project will be fully completed. Typically, negotiation with property owners can go as long as a year. We don't anticipate that in this case. We've hired another consultant to work closely with one of the other property owners on the final phase of the project. So we would hope that within 3 years we can have most of the project underway, at least the sewer being installed. But as far as a final completion date, I'm not able to give you that today.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tech. One more question. This is going to alleviate some of the pressure that we have on the Highway 44 extension. Can you tell me, do you know what percentage right now we are at as far as flows on that Highway 44 extension?
The main trunk line into the sewer plant, actually, there's no capacity issue there. There is a 27-inch trunk sewer that runs from the Robbinsdale area, and it is actually accepts flows from everything over the hill off of Elkvale Road, the new Box Elder Basin out there by the soccer fields. All that now is being pumped into the 27-inch. That's what we need to make capacity for, is everything coming from north of the interstate. So this bypass will intercept some of the flow out of that 27-inch to allow additional flow in the 44-inch from everything north of the interstate.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tech.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Any further questions? Go get a motion. Approved. Got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Hearing none, motion passes. We go on to item number 27. And this will be a funding update from Mr. Tech upon Mount Rushmore Road reconstruction. And if there's people that are interested in getting a complete update from, they can go to the South Dakota Department of Transportation website, as that is their project. So, Mr. Tech, you have the floor, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Attached to the agenda is a memorandum I put together. The DOT had a bid opening on February 24th for the second phase of the project, Mount Rushmore Road project. We updated the numbers. As you are aware, there's was about $5.1 million in vision funding that was allocated to the Mount Rushmore Road beautification and landscaping. We believe the phase one costs are now finalized or within a few $100s here and there. So we felt comfortable getting that information out, and then the information that we knew regarding phase two, we've summarized in the table on the attachment, and then phase three certainly is unknown. We don't know where those prices are going to be until the project's bid next year. But at the end of the day, it looks like about $4.8 million roughly of funds will be allocated from vision for the identified improvements there on Mount Rushmore Road, which leaves about $340,000 left over. So we're at least not in the hole on this project, but we won't know the final cost until at least the bids come in on phase three, where we're sitting for overall project funding.
Thank you, Mr. Tech. The chair will recognize Mr. Estes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. If I could ask Mr. Tech a question.
Yes, you may.
Dale, is there a rough date as to when you, the two items in phase two that have an asterisk, the decorative street lights and overhead power, do you have an estimated time when those numbers might be firmed up?
Yeah, we had asked the DOT, and those numbers were actually, there was an agreement that the city signed on the oversized cost for that, and that's what is reflected in this table. The DOT, it takes them a while to get through their abstract and get their contracts prepared for their contractor. They said once they have that done, once they have the contract back to their contractor, they will have those prices for us. I'd be happy to report back in, let's say, I'd say at least 30 days from now with accurate costs for that.
And the overhead power line, we just end up getting a bill, Black
That's
Hills
right.
Energy just bills us whatever their cost is
Right.
when they're done. Okay.
And they're still working on that,
I see.
in that part of the project phasing. So we won't know that probably for at least a few months.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Dale.
You're welcome.
Appreciate the update.
Chair will recognize Alderman Wright.
Dale, just for discussion, the phase two is Kansas City to St. James, is that correct?
That's correct.
And then phase three will be St. James to Florman, correct?
That's correct.
Thank you.
The chair would entertain a motion to acknowledge the report. Second. A motion and a second to acknowledge the report. All in favor? Aye. Opposed, same sign. Hearing none, all passes. We'll go on to item number 28. This is Public Works member item. Please, emergency concrete repair due to water main break at Haynes Avenue and Disk Drive in the amount of $40,107.62. Move to approve. Second. Have a motion and a second to approve. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Hearing none, motion passes. Chair will entertain a motion to adjourn. A move and a second to adjourn. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Hearing none. We are adjourned, folks. Thank you. Have a great day.